If you walk into a grocery store in America today, you are walking into a minefield. 70% of the items on the shelves contain added sugar, preservatives, or processed seed oils that didn't exist a century ago. We are the most overfed and undernourished generation in human history. We are told that to live longer, we need expensive supplements, protein powders, or restrictive fad diets. But in 5 specific regions of the world, known as the blue zones, people are forgetting to die. In Ikaria, Greece, they have half the rate of heart disease as Americans. In Okinawa, Japan, they have 1/5 the rate of breast and colon cancer. In Loma Linda, California, they live an average of 10 years longer than their neighbors just down the highway. What is their secret? Is it genetics? Absolutely not. When people move out of these zones and start eating the standard American diet, their life expectancy crashes within 1 generation. The secret lies in 6 specific food protocols that they have followed for centuries. These aren't just ingredients, they are biological signals. When you eat these foods, you aren't just satisfying hunger, you are scrubbing your arteries, repairing your DNA, and turning off the genes that cause aging. Researchers from the University of Athens and the National Geographic Society have spent decades decoding these diets. They found that by adopting just a few of these principles, 60-year-old can effectively rewind their biological clock and claim those missing 10 years of life. You are about to discover these exact 6 food secrets. We will move from the liquid gold that cleans your blood to the humble staple that is statistically proven to be the #1 longevity food in the world. But I have to warn you about #1. It is a category of food that most Americans despise. We pull it out of our lawns as a weed. We think it tastes too bitter. But in the island of Ikaria, the island where people forget to die, it is eaten daily as medicine. Doctors believe this single food group is responsible for their near-zero rates of dementia. Before we begin, tell us in the comments right now, what was your favorite comfort meal growing up? Was it meat and potatoes? Pasta? Casseroles? Let's see how our childhoods compare to the blue zones. Drop your answer below. Now, let's revolutionize your pantry, starting with Blue Zone food secret #6, liquid gold, or specifically high-phenolic olive oil. You probably have olive oil in your kitchen. But is it the right kind? And are you using it the right way? In the West, we treat olive oil as a cooking fat. We fry with it. In the blue zones of Ikaria and Sardinia, they treat it as a nutrient. They consume about 1 liter of it per week. That is nearly half a cup a day. But here is the secret. They rarely cook with it at high heat. They pour it raw over vegetables, bread, and soups after cooking. Why does this matter? Because true extra virgin olive oil contains compounds called polyphenols, specifically one called oleocanthal. Oleocanthal is a natural anti-inflammatory that works almost exactly like ibuprofen. It shuts down the COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes that cause pain and inflammation in the body. When you heat olive oil past its smoke point, you destroy these delicate polyphenols. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, the Fermented study, followed 7,000 seniors. Those who consumed a Mediterranean diet rich in raw olive oil reduced their risk of stroke and heart attack by 30%. It effectively scrubs the plaque from the arterial walls. The protocol: the raw pour. Do not stop cooking with healthy fats, but add a new habit. Every dinner, pour 2 tablespoons of high-quality, cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil over your meal right before you eat it. It should taste peppery at the back of your throat. That cough you feel? That is the oleocanthal working. If your oil is smooth and tasteless, it's likely fake or old. Look for the burn. That burn is the feeling of your arteries getting younger. Blue Zone food secret #5, the Sourdough Shield, or fermented grains. In America, bread has become the enemy. We are told that gluten is the root of all evil, causing bloating, brain fog, and inflammation. Yet, in the blue zones of Sardinia and Ikaria, they eat bread with almost every meal. And they have some of the lowest rates of gluten intolerance and diabetes in the world. How is this possible? It's not the grain, it's the process. American bread is made with commercial yeast that rises in 2 hours. It is essentially a sugar sponge. Blue zone bread is made with sourdough starter, a culture of wild lactobacillus bacteria. The dough is allowed to ferment for 12, 24, or even 48 hours. During this long fermentation, the bacteria eat the sugar and the gluten. They pre-digest the grain for you. What is left is a bread that has a low glycemic index. A study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared blood sugar spikes after eating commercial white bread versus traditional sourdough. The sourdough eaters had a 25% lower glucose spike. This fermentation also breaks down phytic acid, a compound that blocks mineral absorption. So, when a Sardinian eats bread, they actually absorb the zinc, iron, and magnesium. When an American eats Wonder Bread, they absorb nothing but starch. The secret: swap, don't stop. You don't have to give up bread. You have to give up fast bread. Look for slow fermented or traditional sourdough at your bakery. The label should list starter or culture, not just yeast. This turns a metabolic danger into a metabolic shield, feeding your gut microbiome instead of spiking your insulin. Before we continue, if you are finding these tips helpful, hit that like button so more seniors can see this video and subscribe. We've got more powerful senior health tips coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Blue Zone food secret number 4, the purple power, or the Okinawan sweet potato, beni imo. If you grew up in the West, your potatoes were likely white, starchy, and covered in butter. In Okinawa, home to the longest-lived women on Earth, the staple food isn't rice. For centuries, nearly 67% of their calories came from a specific purple sweet potato. Why purple? The deep purple color comes from anthocyanins, the same powerful antioxidant found in blueberries. But while blueberries are expensive and seasonal, these potatoes are a daily staple. Anthocyanins are neuroprotective. They cross the blood-brain barrier and fight the oxidative stress that leads to Alzheimer's. But the real magic is the glycemic load. White potatoes spike your blood sugar rapidly. Purple sweet potatoes contain a specific starch structure that digests slowly, providing a steady stream of energy without the insulin crash. Research indicates that the Okinawan diet, centered on this tuber, is anti-diabetic and obesity-resistant. The secret: color your carbs. You might not find the exact Okinawan potato, but you can buy orange sweet potatoes or yams. Swap your white mashed potatoes for roasted sweet potatoes. The rule of thumb in the blue zones is, if it's white, keep it light. If it's bright, take a bite. Pigment is protection. The darker the vegetable, the more medicine it contains. Blue Zone food secret number 3, the peasant's meat, or legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. If there is one single food that unites every Blue Zone, from Costa Rica to Japan, it is the humble bean. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, they eat black beans with corn tortillas. In the Mediterranean, they eat lentils and garbanzos. In Okinawa, they eat soybeans, tofu. Dan Buettner, the founder of the Blue Zones Project, famously stated that beans are the cornerstone of every longevity diet in the world. His research team calculated that eating just 1 cup of beans a day could add 4 years to your life expectancy. Why are beans so powerful? First, they are the ultimate source of fiber. The average American gets 15 grams of fiber a day. You need 40. Fiber is what scrubs cholesterol out of your system. Second, they contain resistant starch. This is a type of carbohydrate that doesn't digest in your stomach. It travels to your colon, where it feeds the good bacteria. These bacteria then produce butyrate, a fatty acid that heals the gut lining and prevents colon cancer. In the West, we view beans as a side dish or a poor man's food. We center our meals around a giant slab of meat. In the blue zones, meat is a condiment, eaten perhaps once a week, and in a portion the size of a deck of cards. Beans are the main event. The secret: the bean anchor. Aim to anchor at least one meal a day with beans instead of meat. Lentil soup for lunch. Black bean tacos for dinner. Hummus as a snack. They are cheap, shelf-stable, and statistically the most life-extending food you can buy. Blue Zone food secret number 2, the red paradox, or, specifically, Cannonau wine. This is controversial. We know that alcohol can be dangerous. However, in the blue zone of Sardinia, Italy, they have the highest concentration of male centenarians in the world. And these men drink wine almost every day. But it's not just any wine, and it's not a whole bottle. They drink a specific local variety called Cannonau, Grenache. Because of the harsh, sun-baked soil in Sardinia, these grapes produce incredibly thick skins to protect themselves. These skins are packed with flavonoids, specifically procyanidins. Cannonau wine has 2 to 3 times the level of artery-scrubbing flavonoids as other wines. A study published in Nature suggested that these specific polyphenols help maintain the flexibility of blood vessels, preventing the hardening of arteries, arteriosclerosis, that plagues most men over 60. Furthermore, they never drink alone. They drink 1 to 2 small glasses, 3 to 4 ounces, with a meal, surrounded by friends. This combines the antioxidant effect with the stress-lowering effect of social connection, the MOI we discussed in previous videos. The secret: the 5 p.m. downshift. If you drink alcohol, switch to a high-quality, high-tannin red wine like Grenache, Cabernet, or Sardinian Cannonau. Limit it to 1 glass for women, 2 for men, and never drink it without food. If you don't drink, do not start. You can get similar polyphenols from Concord grape juice or pomegranate juice. But if you do enjoy a glass, treat it as a medicinal toast to your heart, not a way to get intoxicated. And now, the number 1 food secret. The habit that separates the superagers of Ikaria from the rest of the world. Number 1. The bitter detox, or wild greens horta. I warned you that this is the one Americans hate. In the U.S., we breed the bitterness out of our food. We like sweet corn, mild lettuce, and sugary carrots. In Ikaria, they forage for wild weeds, dandelion, arugula, chicory, fennel, and nettle. They boil them into salads or bake them into pies. Why eat weeds? Because bitterness is the taste of medicine. Plants produce bitter compounds, alkaloids, and polyphenols to stop insects from eating them. When humans eat them in small amounts, they trigger a mild stress response in the liver called xenohormesis. This signals the liver to flush out toxins, produce more bile, and ramp up the body's internal antioxidant production, glutathione. A study of Ikarian elders found that their high consumption of these wild greens was directly correlated with their low blood pressure and near zero rates of dementia. These greens are nutrient-dense powerhouses, containing 10 times the antioxidants of red wine. In the West, we spray dandelions with Roundup to kill them. In the blue zones, they harvest them to save their lives. The secret: embrace the bitter. You don't have to forage in the woods. Buy arugula, dandelion greens, or radicchio at the grocery store. Mix them into your salad. Sauté them with garlic and that high-quality olive oil we talked about. When you taste that sharp, biting flavor, do not recoil. Reframe it. Tell yourself, this is scrubbing my liver. This is cleaning my blood. If your diet is entirely sweet and salty, you are missing the biological key to longevity. The path to adding 10 years to your life isn't found in a pill bottle. It is found in the wisdom of the blue zones. It is a return to the basics that our bodies were designed for. Let's review your new longevity grocery list. High-phenolic olive oil, eaten raw, to soothe inflammation. Sourdough bread to nourish the gut without the sugar spike. Purple or sweet potatoes for brain-protecting antioxidants. Beans and legumes as the fiber-rich anchor of your diet. High polyphenol red wine, in moderation, to keep arteries flexible. And bitter greens to detoxify your liver and protect your mind. These foods are humble. They are cheap. They are accessible. But eating them consistently is the difference between a frazzled, sickly old age and a vibrant, robust century of life. Now, I have a challenge for you. I want you to pick one of these secrets to add to your cart this week. Are you going to buy the dandelion greens? Or are you going to commit to the bean anchor for lunch? Tell me in the comments below. I am adding food item to my list. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. Friends, don't let friends eat processed food. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more senior health secrets. And remember, every bite is a vote for the length of your life. Vote wisely. I'll see you in the next video.